Hi guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another Summoners Board video. So today I have a couple of opinions regarding RTA and why I think that everybody should do it. I know some people might laugh at my content right now because I'm standing in F3 and my highest score was C1, sorry, not even C3, C1. So there are hundreds, thousands of people out there that have more expertise in RTA. But for people that enjoy my content, thank you for watching. There's going to be a few things I'm going to talk about RTA, and I hope that it could help you guys start RTA as well. Just because with the new achievement system, with the new shop, it's so easy to get these free, well, I want to say free because it's open for everybody to get these free scrolls. And if you like aesthetics, to get these, what do you call these? To get these auras, right? To get these cosmetics. Without further ado, before we start the video, it would be great if you guys could subscribe to my channel if you guys already haven't, because that helps me a lot. And it will also be great if you guys could like this video, because if you do, this video will be exposed to more Summoners War players out there. But yeah, let's get into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about before saying anything is that yes, RTA is unit driven. So we know that the current unit is pretty toxic. The core units that are meta right now is the Oki, Savannah, Chiyu, and like Water Ryu, so on and so forth, where AoE strippers, AoE defense break, pushback, control, reset, it's just booming. Due to that, there has been a lot of complaints on Reddit where people have been crying that this meta sucks and something needs to be changed, like the unit has to be nerfed. But I think that's something too early to say. The season just started, I believe, and yeah, it could get worse, but I think people should play a little more and see how it goes before spitting out nerfs already. Because some of these units just got buffed because they were worthless. So let's give them some time to shine, and let's give some happiness to those people that pulled that unit, because they probably cried when they pulled that unit in the beginning. But now they're happy because it's buff and it's actually pretty good or really good. So let them have their fun. More opinions will start coming out later in the season, and eventually, if it's really that bad, the devs will come in and something will probably happen, right? But we don't know. We know that Summoners War dev notes come out slow. And I'm sorry for people that are losing to them all the time, but I mean, I guess you guys have to start testing out new things, try a new strategy, because I mean, Gani Hathor meta was there for so long, and eventually people did somewhat get used to it. It wasn't a cry for help because their meta was so strong. Eventually it became a complaint because the meta was so stale. It was Gani Hathor all the time. It could be the same thing this time too, but I think we have to give it some time. But anyways, let's go back to the point. As RTA plays out, it's unit driven, and the sad thing is people in this game is not going to have every unit. So when you're coming into RTA, and I think people should start playing RTA if they played an year, 2 years, 3 years especially, they should try it out. They should try it out to see where their rune quality stands, to see what kind of team they can make, and start taking advantage of the free stuff that RTA shops are giving. I'm saying it's free because if you just really do some games, it's open for everybody. Everybody could buy those scrolls, those aesthetics, so on and so forth. And it resets every season, or I don't know, I think it said like 8 days left, 7 days left, or something like that. So it resets pretty soon, so you could get it pretty frequently. So I think people should definitely take advantage of that. But really, again, people don't have every unit in the game, so they should really look at their box and pick a team. And when I say pick a team, they should really rune 10 to 15 units. That's it. I have a little more runed up, a little more than 10 to 15. That's just because I don't know what to do if the other team takes my cleave. Well, I'll get into my own personal thought later, but yeah, you have to look at your box and pick a team. So 10 to 15 units and rune them up. So there are a couple teams that you could go with. If you're not confident with your speed, with your swift set, then you probably will go with either a second turn Bruiser or a second turn Cleave. I think those two are the most common. I think there's second turn Control team as well now with the 2A Thrain. And you know, Oki could go in there too, and the Rika. But yeah, 2A Thrain makes the Control team a lot better. But yeah, those are the 3 teams that I think that you could go with. So you should look at your units and see if you could run those teams. I don't want to go into detail regarding that, but if you're going second turn, Will is a mandatory must, and a ban in their team should be the AoE stripper that they bring in. For both the second turn Bruiser, well, not the Bruiser, sorry, the second turn Cleave and Control, it is crucial that in your team that you need an AoE stripper. The most reliable one is the Tiana, because they can't resist that, right? The Tiana is the best one, and if you don't have Tiana, you could go with like Chiu or Triton and any other AoE stripper that you guys know. But you guys have to know that there is always a chance to fail. There's always a chance for the opponent to resist if it's not Tiana. So just know that. So an AoE stripper is a must, and then you go with, if it's the AoE Cleave, you have to have an AoE, if it's a second turn Cleave, you have to have an AoE defense breaker and then AoE damage dealers. And then if it's second turn Control, like I said, you need something like Thrain, Rika, what else is there? I said it and I forgot. Thrain, Rika, I don't know, you could even go like Varad. Okay, just remember, it's Thrain and Rika is very good AoE control. Okay? And with there, I don't know, the Light Paladin, I don't know, just more control. For the second turn Bruiser, you just have to make sure you could survive first turn. And the most common team is something like the Molong, Tyrannus, Velajewel, Harmonia. Sometimes the Bulwark goes in there. The Wind Monkey King goes in there. Or even the Artemil. Yeah, it's not something common, but Artemil goes in there. And then also Ragdoll, you know, something that just does a lot of damage and they're tanky. They all go in there. And finally, if you are confident with your speed, you could go with the speed Cleave. The thing like I like to run, which is with the Bastet, Draco, right? And then Lucian with some speed leads like the Garo, the Shimate, the Fae. If you have the LND Valkyrie, the Dark Valkyrie, which is Trinity, she has a great lead too, and Samath could go there as well. So those are, if you're confident in your speed, then you could do that kind of team. So, but again, my point is that you have to look in your box, choose a team that you want to run, and pick 10 to 15 units. I mean, not even 10 to 15. You could just run 10 units and run that team over and over again. The reason why I say 10 to 15 is because what if they take your units and you want to run a totally different team? Because like the second turn Cleave, the Japanese Cleave, if they take Bastet, if they take Tiana, you can't do that team unless you have a second option. But for me, I don't have a second option. Like I don't have a Megan runed up that's on almost 300 speed. So I can't do that. So I need a total different team. So that's why I have more runed up. And I think as a safety note, you guys should do the same. But you just don't spread your runes out too much because you want the best runes on your RTA units that you're taking in. So I think 10 to 15 is the most efficient way to rune units. I have a little over 30, I guess, and I think this is too much. But this is because I just don't know what kind of team I have to take in if they take in my Cleave. I have to just think and stuff, and I'm not sure what I have to take, and I'm still not very efficient or proficient in that way, in that team making way. So that's my first advice. The second advice, and I'm going to show you this by showing a game. So we're going to look at this match. So he picks this Charlotte. So I'm thinking that his Charlotte's going to be the fastest because he picked in Lucian and with this light and dark unit. And he had water and wind, so I took Sierra last. So I add damage. He's a little faster with a 28 speed lead. So I thought if I banned Charlotte that I'll go first, but his Gemini was actually really fast. So if his team was perfectly speed tuned, I would have lost. Gemini's goes defense breaks, then the Muse comes in. So that you can see that there's an attack bar increase plus the attack buff. So here, if the light Ryu or the Lucian goes, I probably would have lost. However, you see that I take next turn. My best deck cuts in, and because my team is better speed tuned than his team, I take all the turns. So I just killed the Lucian right away. I had to give the Ryu a turn because I touched him. He did not get any stuns. He procced my Garo's passive, but he did not get any stuns. We stunned the dark unit. It didn't really matter what I stunned, but I just did that, and then I killed off the Ryu right away. And at this point, I already won, right? But this shows that even a C1 player loses because he wasn't speed tuned. So really, you guys should be using the tool called swap. Use the speed tuning calculator there. Put your units, put your team's speed. Make sure that your team will take an entire turn before the unit takes a turn. I mean, before the opponent takes a turn, okay? I mean, it doesn't matter if they go first. Even when you're going second, you have to make sure their speed are pretty close so that your units could take an entire turn, because they could be really fast where they could overlap, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. And if you're going first, you want to make sure you are speed tuned because you want, again, your entire team to go before their team goes. So that was second. So always keep that in mind when you are ruining your units. Also, it's very important that you know what team that you're gonna run, so you know that which units have to go in a certain order, right? Because you don't, for example, the second turn cleave, you don't want your Tiana going second or third after your AoE damage dealers did their defense break and, you know, stun, CC, whatever they did, right? You want your Tiana to go first, and you want all your AoE defense breakers, whatever, how many you have, to go after that Tiana, okay? So make sure you ruin that well. Okay, and finally, the last thing I want to say in this video is that don't be scared. Don't get scared, guys, because there's this team. I know there's gonna be a lot of players that have been playing RTA for years, right? And you're thinking that with your rune quality, you're not going to be able to compete against those players, but in reality, you can, because you don't know if those players have taken a break. Maybe they got their wings a few years back when a lot of people didn't do RTA and the threshold was much lower. It was much easier, right? But again, the realistic thing is you don't know your rune quality, so you don't know how high you could go up. Obviously, units are a threshold, so if you don't have certain units, eventually there's a limit that you can reach, I believe, unless you have like crazy rune quality, or unless you have a specific team that you are confident in that could get wins. But if that's not the case, I think there is a threshold, but I don't know how high you want to achieve in your first RTA season, or if you're second, third, but I think just hitting C1, C2, just getting those free auras is a big plus. Plus all the new free stuff, free scrolls that they're giving out with the points. But anyways, I'm saying this because there's this game right here. So let's watch this. So he was a C1 player, I was still F3. And this was a scary game, because if you go in, you'll see he brings a Sierra, a speed lead, and then he brings another speed lead with a 33 speed lead. So I have to bring 2 speed leads here too. And look, if all of his units are fast. I banned his Chiu because if they strip and control, it's GG. And I was expecting that his Chiu will be the fastest in his team. I mean, Barbara could have been faster and Oki could have been faster. But Barbara usually you tend to get some damage on it, and for Oki you tend to get some accuracy too on it. So I just assumed that Chiu will be the fastest. Also, that Oki has a 101 base speed while Chiu has 104. Barbara has 108, I believe. But again, like I said, Barbara needs a lot of stats, so I didn't think that it was going to be the fastest. While Chiu, people now tend to put the fastest Swift set on him. So I didn't get rid of the 33 speed lead. I just took the gamble. And you guys don't see it right now, but this guy has Guardian wings. So this person hit Guardian before. But if you look at this, I take first turn. So that's a big wow. This guy hit Guardian because this is Guardian Wings. Well, I don't know if he ended Guardian. I'll never know. But the fact that he hit Guardian means he was at least C3, okay? Right? He at least went up there. He at least touched the red star. So knowing that this was a very big surprise that I actually outspeed when he has a 33 speed lead. I had to take my 24 speed lead because he banned my Draco. So I can't use Garo's speed lead because what's the point of taking the 30% speed lead without the Draco? So I took my 24% speed lead and he had 33. That's 9% difference. But I still take the first turn. So because of that, it was an easy win. I think I just got rid of the Sierra first. I mean, it wasn't easy because yeah, you could see that my Garo didn't move in the end. So it was scary. But the fact that I took first turn gave me a chance at least. He does it, it's fine. Yeah, I could have lost this, but Garo wins the day for me. Yeah, see, Guardian Wings. Maybe I was lucky. Yeah, you're right. If my Garo was speed tuned a little better, if it was a little faster, then again, I wouldn't need this luck. Because my Garo would kill the Ogi, there would be no AoE stuns, and probably all my units could still take a turn and still win. But yeah. Yeah, Garo eventually killed it, but this is the reason why you bring in Garo, because you know that Garo could do these things, especially in the Japanese cleave. So the fact that I know there was some luck in my side, but the fact that I outsped when he had a 33 speed lead, and the fact that he has Guardian Wings, still shows that my rune quality was not that bad. I'm not gonna say it was on par with his. There's no way, I believe, but it was still not bad where I was able to contest this game. Like, I didn't just get wrecked. I didn't just lose straight up. But yeah, those are the three things. Those are the three things I want to let you guys know. I know RTA could be frustrating, so it really depends. So your team could all really depend on your playstyle. For me, when I lose from violent procs in long battles, I get tilted. I don't like to play anymore. That's why I'm going with this cleave route for now, because the games are so much shorter. If they outspeed me, then I can just leave, and I'm okay with that, because I'll just be like, okay, that's pure rune quality issue, or I didn't ban correctly, or I didn't pick correctly, so I'm totally fine. But losing from violent procs kind of hurts, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people experienced it before too. So if you guys are similar to me, then try cleaving if you guys have some good swift sets. But if you're okay with the prolonged battles, then you could try going, with good violent teams. There are some meta teams out there right now that are really good. Or if you don't have good swift sets, you could always do the second turn cleave team, because that could still work, because in the low level, most people don't have the core meta units that are good right now, like the Water Ryu or the Chungpang, which is the Wind Art Master, the Chiyu, the Oki. They don't have all of it, right? So if you just could ban out their one AoE stripper, then you have a chance. The issue is that if they bring in two AoE strippers, you're kind of in trouble. So just remember that. Yeah, so you don't want to see Chungpeng and Chiyu in their draft. But anyways, guys, that was it for today. Thank you for watching. I'm going to now go into my Siege video. I have to record that. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, again, please consider subscribing, and please consider giving this video a like. Yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.